Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Dave Allen and I am the Business Development Manager here at Revolution Group. It's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar entitled Manufacturing Sales and Customer Relationship Management. We will be recording this session to post on our website, so if you'd like to revisit or share, I will send the link out for you to do so. At the end of the session, we will have a Q&A, and at any point throughout the presentation, if you have a question, please just type it into the question control pane on the side of your screen, and we will do our best to answer the questions at the end. Our speaker today will be Sam Hanna. Sam is Revolution Group's Director of Business Development, supporting our Manufacturing Application Services practice. He will be addressing how typical CRM and ERP solutions often fail to address the unique marketing, sales, and customer support requirements of manufacturing companies. Sam is a sales practitioner with over 30 years of experience, primarily selling in enterprise software and services. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Sam Hanna.
Thanks very much, Dave, and thank you for everyone participating today. This webinar, Sales and Customer Relationship Management, geared toward manufacturing companies, is one of a series of webinars that Revolution Group has been offering to manufacturing firms by our application services team. The objectives of this webinar are to present a holistic view of manufacturing sales and customer relationship management, a comprehensive overview of manufacturing CRM. We want to look at customer relationship management functions and processes and the technology applications that support CRM and define the interdependent nature of those functions, processes, and technology solutions. We're going to review some models of customer relationship management solutions and how they are offered by CRM solution providers to manufacturing companies. And we're going to present some very, very general guidelines when considering upgrades or enhancements to your sales and CRM operations. Very briefly, Revolution Group, we are an 18-year technology solutions provider. Our roots are in software development for automotive suppliers. We are a customer relationship management application services providers, and we provide CRM solutions across all industries. In the manufacturing segment, we are an enterprise resource planning application services providers, primarily to mid-level discrete manufacturing companies in the neighborhood of $2 billion or less, which would define our client base. Does manufacturing have customer relationship management requirements different than other organizations? If we look at the purpose of customer relationship management, it's to organize, automate, and synchronize marketing, sales, and customer management functions. All organizations, all businesses, any organizational entity has some type of requirement for customer relationship management. However, every industry segment, every organization has CRM requirements that are uniquely different. And we almost always find the total CRM solution to be incrementally different for all organizations or tailored to meet the specific needs of the manufacturing company. When we start looking at customer support functions from a CRM perspective, we find more consistent or more universal applications being utilized to support manufacturing firms from one to another. And we'll elaborate on customer support functions in more detail later. CRM has evolved extensively over the last 15 years. There have been some very, very significant cloud computing CRM solution providers that have come online in the last 10 years that have really moved the bar quite a bit in the whole arena of customer relationship management. All enterprise, all businesses have been affected by the internet and the access to information. People are buying and people are selling with far more data than they did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when they relied more on third parties to understand the solutions they were securing. E-commerce has greatly changed the way people buy and sell, being able to buy online or to be able to source product online. There's a requirement now that organizations have information, all past information, all future information, all present information about their customers, about their prospective customers. We refer to this as a 360-degree view of the customer. You know, to have in some repository all of the information about your accounts, your contacts, your competition, et cetera, to be able to do your business effectively. There's a requirement for all the data to be in one place, and there to be one version of that data instead of multiple versions or iterations of that data. And we refer to that as a single version of the truth. And much has also happened historically when manufacturing companies and their respective marketing operations would build products and people would buy them. Today, products must be researched and developed and brought to market in a way that accommodates a demand by the customer. So we see now that companies must create a demand for their products, and we are building products to fulfill a market requirement. And that strategy we know as pull marketing has very much changed customer relationship management. So when trying to create a holistic view of customer relationship management for manufacturing, what we've done here at Revolution Group is we've built what we think of as an execution model for CRM. And this model is going to look in detail at functions, processes, and the technology applications that support customer relationship management. So if we look at the operations that typically define or customer relationship management, they are in any company the marketing operation, the sales operation, and the customer support operation. When we think of the functions within those operations, we're talking about the specific roles, the specific duties and responsibilities of the resources or people in the marketing department, sales, and customer support departments. What do they actually do? What are their roles and responsibilities for customer relationship management? Then we could look at the processes that those people deploy in order to do their jobs. What are the repetitive tasks? What are the procedures? What is the workflow associated with these functions and roles that the marketing, sales, and people, support people must fulfill? So we start with functions, then we look at processes, and then last we look at the business systems applications, the actual tools. In this situation, we're referring to software tools, to efficiency tools that allow people to do their jobs properly. So congruence within functions, processes, and applications is absolutely fundamental for a comprehensive customer relationship execution model. And we're going to go a little deeper into processes, functions, and business systems applications for purposes of this webinar. So let's start with marketing. Marketing is the process of creating, communicating, and delivering value to the customer. Quite simply, a classic definition of marketing. And marketing functions, most of us are very much aware, they are in and around executing campaigns and marketing initiatives and managing the database and managing the manufacturing company's communications, the image of the company, the website, any advertisement that might be done, all in and around communication, promotion, and demand generation. So we have numerous marketing functions, and this is just a sample of things that marketing people would do. A little more complicated are the processes associated with marketing. What are the repetitive tasks? And we look at this as more of a deductive view of processes for marketing, and we categorize them in general terms of research of their environment, coming up with strategies, the processes of creating strategies, of creating the mix of marketing tools or programs that are going to be executed in order to fulfill the requirements of the manufacturing company. We look at these processes all in and around return on investment, because fundamental to manufacturing is being able to build something and sell it at a price point that is profitable. So quite frankly, the role of marketing in the introduction of a product or a solution of some sort, the cost justification and the value associated with that product must be a marketing function. So the return on investment is fundamental to the marketing process. There's hundreds of tools to support marketing professionals, and they are prospect and lead database related tools, their campaign tools, their internet application, website tools, research tools. If the company sells via the internet, there are order processing components and dynamic website tools. There are even tools to create brochures and presentations, et cetera, et cetera. So we could look at the whole array of marketing applications, and the manufacturing company would identify and deploy those marketing applications that meets their unique business requirements. The next component of our model is the sales function. What's the purpose of sales people? Well, primarily it's to generate revenue. If we look at the functions of the sales representative or the sales professional, they're very diversified functions. It's, on the surface to represent the company. But today, salespeople must work with their clients to create solutions of some sort, solve some type of a business problem. They have to have repetitive tasks they have to perform. They have to manage the sales cycle. They have to put together proposals, quotes, estimates. They have to give presentations. They have to strategize around target account plans. Depending upon the situation, they have to be subject matter experts. So the role of the salesperson is far more than just generating revenue. The true mission of the salesperson today is to protect the company from engaging in unprofitable business. The processes are very interesting for the sales professional. I mean, we could look at the functions and we can translate those into activity and task management, pipeline management. If there's an engineering component to the sales process, there is a program or product management component where we're onboarding a customer, and there's 2 years of engineering that go into the development of the product before they even build or sell one. There are performance reporting processes and proposal generation processes and presentation processes, or the management of contracts and how we actually secure the legal documents to onboard a new client or customer. If we think of sales processes for a manufacturing company, they would be unique, but these repetitive tasks performed by the sales professional would comprise what we refer to as a sales system, a set of interdependent processes that make up the entire sales operation. So every organization, if they don't have, should have a sales system documented that simply says, this is the way we do sales in this company, and this is the way it works. If we look at the applications that support salespeople, there's event and activity management. There's sales professionals are always clamoring, like, how do I schedule my tasks and my calls and my follow-ups? How do I document the information in and around my accounts? What are the tools I use for estimating and quoting, for submitting a forecast, for creating and managing my price book, or what are my mobile applications, not just my cell phone, but my tablets, et cetera, my laptop. So we have numerous sales applications that we have to identify for purposes of customer relationship management. The last component of our execution model is customer support. The role of the customer support professional, or these operations, are quite simply for purposes of customer retention and loyalty. Customer support functions are fairly common amongst manufacturing companies. If we look at order processing, order management, and fulfillment, there's going to be certain functions that enrolls within the manufacturing operation that take new orders, process them, and release product in a timely manner. There are going to be systems in place in and around shipping and packaging that are repetitive functions and tasks. There are going to be service and support roles depending upon the products created by the manufacturing company. There might be warranty programs, returns programs, there might be field service programs that are fulfilled by customer support functions. You could have product development and program management roles involved in customer support, particularly program iterations or engineering changes that the customer requires of the products they're purchasing from you. So we have numerous customer support functions that are often quite common in manufacturing companies dependent upon the segment that they're in. The processes also are rather consistent, and they go back consistent with the functions of order fulfillment. We also think of things like traceability and lot tracking as a customer relationship management function and a process. We think of barcode label printing as a customer support process because it's nearly always required by whoever you're supplying. Service and warranty programs and program management are processes that are repetitive tasks that must be defined for CRM purposes. Then we could look at the applications that support those roles. They could be electronic data interchange, if we have a call center operation or a customer support operation or warranty management program. We might have computer telephone integration. We might have applications that are specifically utilized for orders, releases, scheduling, and shipping. There may be portals built for customers to get a view into our ERP solution to understand the status of their releases, their shipping, and their orders, or their invoices, etc. So there are barcode label printing applications. What we've learned when we look at customer support applications is that these types of applications are typically embedded in the enterprise requirements, the enterprise resource planning solution that the manufacturing company is utilizing. These are long-term legacy applications that are found even in the most antiquated systems of some sort. We find these applications to be most embedded. So a whole other category for our execution model of applications we think of as enterprise applications. And no one would dispute the need for enterprise applications and the way they're utilized. We find things like activity management to be universal requirements, CRM requirements, and universal requirements of almost any person in an organization. The management of tasks, calendaring and scheduling, Most of the professionals in any manufacturing company have access to a computer and to Outlook and to an Outlook calendar and the associated contacts. So there are contact management functions that are across the board and not just CRM related. There are document management requirements in multiple operations within a manufacturing firm. A document repository, a way of archiving documents in a secure vault, to archive proposals, contracts, drawings, legal documents, et cetera, et cetera. Project management tools might also be utilized in multiple operations, not just in sales, marketing, and support roles. The business intelligence tools that companies are using now to create performance and operational dashboards, and the analytical tools and the quality-related tools are comprehensive CRM applications that would be used in multiple operations. So that kind of gives us a holistic view of functions, processes, and applications that a manufacturing company might utilize as related to marketing, sales, and customer support. So let's take a look at models. What are the CRM models that you find in organizations today? We think of them in three categories. We think of them as embedded, where the CRM functions, and we found this to be mostly true in customer support functions, are embedded in the legacy ERP application. So they are part of the accounting operation, the accounting modules. They are part of the production modules, the shipping modules, the packing modules, the releases and order processing modules are all part of the ERP solution. They are typically written in the same programming language, and they may even share the common database as the other applications being used by the manufacturing company. What we find to be far more prevalent is our interfaced applications. And interfaced applications, or bolt-ons, they're also known as bolt-on applications, would take a ERP solution, a manufacturing ERP solution, and a customer relationship management solution, and we interface the two solutions together to create one comprehensive CRM application. So we find this most often, even some of the largest manufacturing ERP solution providers have secured or licensed or some type of a CRM bolt-on product and brought the two of them together to give you a comprehensive approach to customer relationship management. An example of this, a very good example of this would be the Plex Manufacturing Cloud that has been developed over the years by Plex Systems, Troy, Michigan-based Plex Systems. Plex Systems has an interface to Salesforce.com. And if you're not aware of it, Salesforce.com is by far the industry leader in customer relationship management. And Plex has is now rolling out a comprehensive solution for CRM for ERP, manufacturing ERP, by layering Salesforce into the Plex environment. The last model, it's not even a model. We just look at standalone products or applications. And this is sort of a makeshift approach to CRM. And this is what you find most often. So we have a need for contact management, so we secure a contact management tool like Sage produces a product called ACT, and then there's another one called Goldmine, and then there are about 2 million other products out there, client-server products and cloud-based products for customer relationship management purposes. We find other disparate systems we use maybe for proposals, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, Excel. We might do our pipeline in Excel. We might manage our contacts in Excel, or we might manage them in Outlook. So we find a lot of time with sales professionals is they've hodgepodged a whole bunch of different applications to get their jobs done, and there's not a company standard. This is not a good situation because quite often when that sales professional leaves, all the data goes away with her or him. So on the positive side, when we think of standalone products, they're less expensive. Sometimes the professional goes out and gets them themselves, and they're faster and easier to deploy. The negative aspect of standalone solutions are that you have disparate solutions. They're disparate in nature. You have numerous data silos and individuals managing and maintaining their own independent data. The resources that utilize these tools kind of make do with whatever they can get their hands on or whatever the budget will allow. So those are the three models that you'll find in the marketplace if you begin to shop for CRM solutions, if you find that the one that you're utilizing is not meeting all of your business requirements. And in conclusion, we want to talk very briefly about system selection. And Revolution Group is a technology solutions company. We are a consultancy, so we adhere to some very rigorous disciplines in and around system selection. And we advise that you start with the business drivers. What are the business drivers? What are we trying to accomplish? What's behind this? What are the needs? And then establish or create goals. What is the end game? What are we going to do here? And then, even equally important is, what is the success criteria, or how are we going to measure the fact that we've accomplished our goals? So, understanding the drivers, establishing the goals, and the success criteria. And then we'll go back to our model, the model that we presented, in defining the functions. What functions do we have in place, and what functions are missing? Are they adequately staffed? Do we have the adequate resources, and do they have the proper training? So we go to the roles, duties, and responsibilities. And then we would embark upon an analysis of the processes. Have the processes been defined in order to fulfill those roles and job duties and responsibilities? And then we look at the tools last. What tools would be best used to meet the needs of the business? And then we would go shopping for the appropriate applications to fulfill our requirements for a comprehensive manufacturing, sales, and customer relationship management solution. And that kind of brings us to the end of our presentation. It was brief. Hopefully it was to the point. And let's entertain some questions, please. Dave?
Yes, some questions we have right now. The first one is, what platforms does Revolution Group support?
Well, we try to stay away from listing all of the platforms that are out there, but we did kind of tip our hat a little bit when we spoke of Plex Systems and Salesforce.com. Revolution Group has been a 12-year premier business partner of Plex Systems, and we implement Plex worldwide, and we do development in and around the Plex platform and all of the business intelligence functions we support in and around Plex. And we have been a 7 or 8 year Salesforce.com business partner, much the same. We implement Salesforce. We do development we do development on the Force platform. We integrate Salesforce to other applications, and we also are a service cloud provider as well. And we have interfaced, when we talk of best of breed, we have interfaced Plex to Salesforce.
All right, thank you for that question. The next one is, you spoke of building a sales system. Can you elaborate further on that?
My experience in managing sales organizations is that one of the biggest deficiencies is there is no sales system. So there are no documented processes that says this is the way we do things. And so we could be very detailed, like if we are going to build quotes and proposals, what is the documented process, the steps A through whatever, in order to build that quote and proposal? So repetitive, repeatable tasks are accomplished the best and are the most successful. So if we're going to do a presentation, do we have a template in place to build that presentation that reflects the image of the company, or is it kludged together at the last minute by somebody? What is the account management and contact management functions? How do we keep track of our opportunities and our pipelines so they're visible to anybody in the organization? So these processes are put together and refined in such a way that we refer to them as a sales system. And every organization is going to have a different approach to this, and they're going to do things incrementally different. So it's not about finding a sales system, it's about creating one that meets your manufacturing requirements.
All right, thank you. And last question before we run out of time here. I wanted to address this one. It was more of a statement than a question. My company does not need an elaborate marketing operation.
Oh, that's a very good comment. And we struggled a little bit with this when we were putting the content together for this webinar, because if we look at a mid-tier discrete manufacturing company in the $2 billion or less range, especially in this region, we may find many of them to be automotive suppliers. A tier 2 automotive supplier, for instance, might have 4 customers that they supply, and they've had them for 10 years, and there's no requirement for a marketing operation. So it again, going back to the segment that you're in and the products that you're building would very much determine if you have a marketing entity or the nature of your sales organization and customer support organization. So they will be different. If you look at a food processing manufacturing company that has multiple distribution channels and hundreds of customers and suppliers, et cetera, the need for marketing operation is going to be very prevalent. If you're producing clips and clamps and products of some sort that are going to be purchased by potentially hundreds of people on organizations and businesses and business to business or business to consumer sales, the need for a marketing operation is going to be far more relevant. So it all is contingent upon the segment that you're in and the requirements that you have.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Any questions that we were not able to address, we'll reach out to you all individually and follow up with you after that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a great rest of the week.